Good afternoon, my friends. This is the Grim Flayer. More live recorded tournament practice lobby fun today. I know it's not necessarily the most streamlined footage you'll ever see. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I started playing a league and recording it live, and I punted so badly against Amulet Titan because I am not used to talking while I'm concentrating. I'm simply not able to play to a high enough level for my own standards while commentating to a high enough level for my own standards yet. So we're gonna warm up. We're gonna get better at it by playing a little bit more in the tourney practice lobby. Looking for some fun matches here. Looking for some decent matches here. Our hand's fine. It doesn't have very good early interaction, but it's a functional keep for a blind game one. The lands are good, the threats are good. We just hope it's not a really fast deck, basically, and we should be fine. I punted so hard against Amulet Titan, and I'm, obviously the fact that I'm doing this should tell you that the replays are still not working for me. I need to report a bug. I need to file a complaint about this. I'm sure many people have, but, this is really cramping my style on these videos, and it came right at the time when I had so much good stuff to show you. Had a really good matchup against Martyr Proc I wanted to make a video about. Have a really good full league that I wanted to make a video about. And we are just locked out of our replays for now, and apparently I can't handle commentating while playing well in the practice lobby, so bad times for me. I punted pretty hard against Amulet Titan. So what is this? Island into Mishra's Bauble. There is a chance that this is some kind of an interactive deck, right? Like some kind of a deck where, whatever, I'm just going to play the Tarmogoyf. I'm just like, what are the odds that I need to play around Lightning Bolt by fetching first? But I'm just going to play a Goyf. The fetch is too powerful with Tireless Tracker. Island into Mishra's Bauble. If they have a Lightning Bolt somehow, then you got me. But yeah, I punted against Amulet Titan because I was talking out every line, and, well, this is Grixis Death Shadow. I don't know how common Lightning Bolt is in their deck anymore, but I was talking out all the lines, and then I just chump blocked Titan that was attacking my Liliana of the Veil on 2 using my Tireless Tracker, just totally blanking on the fact that it has Trample. So I just got I just 2-for-1 myself with my 2 most valuable permanents and basically lost the game. It was the end of a really tight 3-game series, and I just can't throw away ticks like this. I just can't do it right now. So I will be playing leagues, but I need, at least for now, to focus while I'm playing my leagues to really make sure I get the actual wins as opposed to just kind of talking and then punting. Lily is a good draw, but it is gonna get blown out here by a natural Stubborn Denial. So I don't think I can play her, even though it's a pretty sweet one at this particular juncture of the game. I think we're just supposed to play out another Goyf. Yeah, so sorry about the lack of the type of footage that you have come to know me for, and hopefully you have come to enjoy. It's just not available to me right now. My usual avenues have been closed off, and so I'm just kind of messing around in the lobby for now. And that's fine. I had fun last time doing it. It seemed like most of you enjoyed this as well. And I'm going to be gone for the weekend as well for Christmas family activities and all that good stuff. So I felt obligated to you to at least record something today while I had the time, while I had the inclination. And even if all we can manage is the tourney practice stuff, well, sometimes that's fine. Sometimes we get some good matches, and this looks like shaping up to be a good one. our opponent blows us out pretty hard there by getting back, shrinking our Tarmogoyfs, getting the Angler down. We are... So they're obviously representing stubborn denial here. What do we care more about getting stubbed? I guess Assassin's Trophy is of higher value than Lily the Last Hope now. So let's play out the Last Hope. If they've got stub, they've got stub. Yeah, let's play out the Last Hope. Yep. Sure enough. Not interested in an attack here. We're still at 20, so we can take a few hits from this fish if they indeed feel like they're able to attack. Which I guess they're not going to unless they have some other threat or some fatal pushes or something like that. Let's see what they're working with here. They've got a shadow, sure. So, Snap Stub is a concern beginning next turn. So, of course, this turn I'm going to Fatal Push on the end step and then untap an Assassin's Trophy. That's my plan right now. They're going to shock in a Blood Crypt, okay. Oh, they're tapping blue. So Stub is actually no longer a concern for us, which is actually quite nice. Now, if they have a Thoughtseize here... Ooh, Dismember. Land, instant. Yeah, this is nothing we can do anything about here. So, yeah. Now, maybe they'll get greedy and attack with the Angler. Wow. Okay. What a turn. Maybe they'll still get greedy and attack with the Angler. Alright, we got him. We got him, folks. Treetop Village gonna win on the crackback. Well, it was quite the turn from you, my friend. But... you will be trampled upon by a village full of apes. It's a sad way to go, but it is your reality. Alright, good games, well played. Good game, singular, well played. Alright, are we going to the side? We're going to the side. Okay, so against Shadow, like I said in the other video, you could consider leaving in probably a couple Thoughtseizes, but I mostly like to trim away at the discard. It's definitely, Collective Brutality is arguably the worst of them all, although none of them are particularly great. And you can even take away all the discard, like that's not the worst thing in the world, but we're bringing in some stuff that clogs up the ground. We're bringing in some stuff that that kills either just Shadow or both Shadow and their Delve threats. All that stuff's good. Nile Spellbomb is, of course, at least somewhat desirable. I like Fulminator Mage as well. That's a consideration. Choke is fine. Depends how heavy we want to go on attacking their... excuse me. Attacking their mana base. So I guess we're going to cut away one Fatal Push and trim back one Spellbomb. And then what? Then what? All of our other stuff is pretty fine. Maybe explosives we just don't need. I kind of like going hard after their mana base today. That's what I'm feeling, so. Double Fulminator and Choke. Bring it all in. You could also just have trimmed those two Inquisition, or those two Thought Seizes that I left in as well. Trimming them totally is quite fine. Yeah, this handle will do it for me. We've got the ability to grind. We've got the ability to weather a couple of discard spells. Liliana's a very high-value card in the matchup. If she can just come down and edict something, that's very, very good. So yeah, the hand's sweet. I missed that. But what they probably did is bobbled themselves, and then used that as like a pseudo scry, so they can look at the top card of their deck. Let's say they have a shock land and a fetch land in hand. They can look at the top card of their deck. If they like it, they can play their shock land. If they don't like it, they can play their fetch land. And yep, they know how good Lily is. They'll take her right away. Okay, well, we drew a 1-drop, so we're going to play it. Now, they can perhaps manage to play a Delve creature out next turn. I don't think we're supposed to just spellbomb them right away, so they can't do that. Like, this is still a grindy value matchup. We still really want to get our draw off of this. And just letting it sit there to potentially blank a Snapcaster down the road is totally fine as well. So, yeah, you can kind of see the spellbomb as a dual-purpose piece. You can use it more aggressively early on to keep them off of Delve threats, but I don't recommend using it so aggressively that you don't get to draw off it. Or you can have it sit around making their Snapcasters a lot worse, and all that good stuff. So they're going to Serum, and they're going to shock in and pass, huh? Well, Blood Crypt, untapped, means that, you know, they know our hand, our Dark Confidant is very unlikely to live. Is there a reason not to play him, though? What if we just Spellbomb now? And turn it into more of a slow roll game? That's tempting. I'm gonna do it. You know, we're just in the old tournament practice lobby, so sure. Let's give that a shot. We need to hit more lands anyway, that is for sure. Alright, Field of Ruin is a land. We'll play out the one he already knows about, which is the better play here anyway, and pass. Oh, Spellbomb answered with Spellbomb. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll fetch on the end step here, and I'm considering... Well, of course I'm going to see what I draw, but... It's kind of tempting to try to just jam the Choke here. I'm going to go for it if they have a stub that's not that big a deal. And if they don't, well... then they can get choked. Choke resolves, okay, so... I'm kind of liking the way this game is shaping up since we decided to, you know, slow roll a little bit. Our read was that they have removal for Bob based on how they sequenced thus far. And, yeah, they're using that island, that precious, precious island that no longer untaps. They're going to dig with the Serum. And now, I mean... If they fail to find another land, And if we do draw a land, then maybe we just go double Bob, or maybe we... Yeah, I don't know. We'll, of course, have to see what they do. Looks like they're digging some more. Yep, you got it. Okay, they found another land. Yeah, I guess it's time to start playing Bobs. Was really hoping for another land there, but now that I have a Scavenging Ooze to come down and clean some stuff up, I'm more happy to trade Confidant for a Fatal Push, which is the most likely thing they've been hanging on to here. So if my reads have been right, they're going to go get a Swamp and Fatal Push the Bob. Or a Blood Crypt. They just click wrong, or are they reconsidering? Dismember. Yeah, okay. You got it. Might have a Shadow in our future, but we have answers to it, and they don't have blue for Stubborn Denial quite yet. Sure, Death Shadow. Another one. Alright, so we could just take our draw step, see if we draw Maelstrom Pulse. That's a high reward play, but I don't think we're supposed to do that. I think we're just supposed to use our mana efficiently here. Fatal Push this. Alright, Trophy is good. I'm just going to keep killing these things while they are not representing Stubborn Denial. So it'll be interesting whether they get a Swamp here so they can keep operating on a lot of lands without getting choked, or an island for a one-time use, basically. Looks like they want the Swamp, but we're just passing. We're just F6'd. And yeah, if they just keep running out these threats, I'm pretty happy to just continue trophying them away while they don't have access to Stubborn Denial, like obviously getting that's a good one. That's a very good one there. They're just ticking up. Alright, well, it's pretty nice for us. Again, I really wish I had a fourth land, because then I could just play the Ooze, eat both of their shadows, and then they are basically just forced to tick Liliana up again, at which point we can answer her more at our leisure. But here, I mean, obviously, if they... yeah, we can't really play around that. I think I just trophy her, too. Then our entire hand is creature, so even though they'll get an island and they'll have Stubborn Denial for a one-time thing, we just have only creatures in hand, so very, very awkward game. Very odd and awkward game. And perhaps if we had been more aggressive with playing our Bobs out early, you know, don't get me wrong, maybe this other Bob would just be dead as well by now. But maybe we would have had a Bob stick around. That said, if we had a Bob there, that would have just died cleanly to a Liliana tick up, so there's always that to consider. But yeah, there's a very strange sequencing. You know, Assassin's Trophy has definitely been good, but they were a little bit choked on mana, and now they, if anything, are flooded. We draw another trophy, sure. Fair enough. Well, you know, I don't exactly expect anything I play here to live. So the best play they could really have would be Snapcaster into, I guess, Dismember, although even that's a little bit sketchy. I'll run out the Ooze. At least I'll get the chance to continue using my mana fully every turn if I continue to be stuck on 3 land, and if this thing lives. Feels wrong in a way to be slow rolling this Bob for so long, but alright, well, you got me. Yeah, Snap Dismember is a dangerous enough play that I'm going to leave them, for their life total that is, that I'm going to leave them with the Dismember in the yard. I'll just gain a life and take away a threat that they can buy back with another Lily the Last Hope if they have a second one instead. Although they probably do not. Yeah, so this has been a strange game too, that is for sure. Behold, a handful of, well, not quite only creatures, because now I drew my 3rd trophy, but close enough. He's probably wondering why I've been taking such seemingly suboptimal turns, and now he can see why. Right? Now he can see why. Yep, there goes Tracker. That is definitely the right call. Assuming he has removal for Bob, which we've been assuming this whole time. Oh, right on cue, we'll draw land. Okay, well. Guess it's Bob time. Snap Lightning Bolt would be bad here, but I'm still just kind of assuming Fatal Push, and while they have this land, although they probably just don't need to crack it quite yet, while they have this Bloodstained Mire, I don't see any reason to walk the Cletus into a Revolted Fatal Push, but maybe I was supposed to. Yeah, there's the push, sure. So, they could have had it either way. Now, if they have Snap Push here, that would be pretty bad, of course, but there is not much we can do besides play out our stuff one at a time here. Of course, a lot of things are bad here. Snap Push, even Snap Dismember takes care of the Kalitas, and they have enough black mana that it's not very painful. Liliana of the Veil would be very bad here. Lots of things that are very bad. Wow, Shocking in a Watery Grave going to 3. They must not be too traumatized from us winning the game with Treetop Village last turn. Ugh, Snap Fatal Push. Brutal. Yup. Yeah, I mean, that said, you know, they only got us on a 10-turn clock. Maybe they're sitting on a stubborn denial, maybe not. We just need to keep drawing action. We can still be very fine. They're at an alarmingly low life total. We've already taken care of a couple Death Shadows. I am a little bit surprised that they did not buy back a Shadow with their Lily the Last Hope when it first came down. I think our opponent is playing this out very well, but that might not have been the right decision. Man, we get choked on land for so long, and now it's just... Now it is just looking like this. Well... Trophy the big guy. Or attempt to. Okay. Okay, well, that makes sense, given how they fetched. So, yeah, I assume they only play 2 basics, but just because it's good practice, I'm going to put a stop on their draw step. And then we'll draw step field. Alright, now their clock is a lot quicker. Floating red, I wonder if this is just another example of good practice on their part, or whether they have something like another bolt or a K command, or... I guess I'm going to just bluff Fatal Push here by getting another swamp. Normally I'd get a forest, but I think bluffing push is worthwhile. It might prompt a discard spell out of them as well. Maybe they've got another shadow to play and they want to clear the way for it. I mean, I don't really know. I'm just kind of taking tiny percentage points at this point, but I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm getting hit for 7 here. Alright, another angler. Come on, Maelstrom Pulse. You know, here's an idea for all of you BGX fanatics out there. Pay attention to how often you tell yourself, come on, Maelstrom Pulse. That will show you how valuable the card is, and even though sideboard slots and even mainboard slots are at a huge premium, and you always look at Maelstrom Pulse if you're like me and you have 2 and you're 75 and you're like, can I do without this card? Can I trim one of these? But just every time you're tempted to do that, think of how often you say, come on, Maelstrom Pulse, it's my only out, or it's my best out. You know, it's a hint, it's very often. Very, very often. So what do we do here? Lily, we can buy back a 2-drop and then play it. And that we just chump block. But if our 2-drop is Tarmogoyf, like if we blind mill a Tarmogoyf, that would be the best line. What if we tick her up? If we tick her up, we are taking 9. Or taking 5. No, we'd be taking 10. Math is hard. Yeah, take 10. Or we'd lose the Liliana and take 5. So ticking up doesn't really get us anywhere. If they need to deal with the Liliana, they can deal with her with just 1 angler attack. If they don't need to deal with her, they can ignore her. So I think the play is to tick her down and hope to mill over a Tarmogoyf. Or we could tick up and kill Snapcaster Mage. Do we do that? That's pretty clean. That's kind of clean. Still might not be good, but either way, our life total is going to be getting really low starting next turn. So maybe we do, like, the Snapcaster is a realistic finisher at this point, no matter what happens from here. So maybe we do just have to do this. We'll go to 1 if they want to hit us to 1, or we'll lose our Lily and go to 6. Either way, we are probably going to die, but yeah, so to be clear, when I was saying tick up earlier, I was just looking at ticking up on a Gurmag Angler. It didn't even occur to me right away that Snapcaster is cleanly killed by it, which is obviously better than ticking up on an Angler, given the fact that we had just a Blooming Marsh in hand. And, you know, still ticking down. Maelstrom Pulse. Yeah, baby. Well, we get blown out by Stubborn Denial, but guess what? They don't have blue. Come on, Maelstrom Pulse. Our prayers were answered, just maybe a turn too late. But this is why we have 2 in the 75. Alright, obviously we have to tick down to buy back a threat here, because we are at 1 life. Definitely not Dark Confidant. I guess it's got to be the Ooze? Or should we get Kalitas? Nah, we'll get something we can play this turn. Because we can tick her down again next turn. Yeah. Yeah, I dig it. Alright, are we going to... And of course, they're at 3 life. That's the other thing, right? We've got to present lethal this turn. Can we make the glorious stand at 1 life here? I wonder. I wonder if we did it. Maelstrom Pulse, how I love you. Okay, opponent looks like they're just passing, but they're also not scooping. I'm intrigued. I will obviously gobble up a fish here. We draw another Pulse. Sweet. Alright, well, the first order of business is to try to kill them. The game has ended. Alright, they were just making us play it out. Wow. We got there against Grixis Death Shadow, so good games, well played to the opponent. And that was our first match of the day in the tournament practice lobby. It proved to be actually a pretty good one. So, should I upload this as a standalone video, or should I just keep going? Keep going with longer form content. I wonder. I wonder. Gotta make the decision now. We're playing again. Ivan Ooze. I love that name. Ivan Ooze. Like, is Ooze your surname? Like you're from a long line of oozes? Or do you identify as an ooze? Like, what's going on? Ivan Ooze. And the incongruity of like a very common name globally, Ivan, next to Ooze, but at the same time there's a symmetry with 4 letters in each. Ivan Ooze, I just really like your name. I just really like your name, homie. And you made me excited to play again. So, our hand's sweet. Hand's very good in a blind game 1. We've got a nice low curve. Only 2 lands is not an issue because of our nice low curve. We have Inquisition, which is always good no matter what we're up against. And Fatal Push is definitely going to be good against what looks like Zoo. Alright. These Dark Confidants are not going to be the greatest against Zoo, but Lily the Last Hope is going to be sweet, and Goyf is also very good. So I think I have to Inquisition here, even though it means I'm going to take probably 3 from the Nicodle next turn, because I don't want to get a big chain of Burning Tree Emissary style plays coming down on my head. Oh, okay, this looks more like Burn with Nicodles. This looks more like Naya Burn with Nicodles in it. Or maybe it's a Zoo deck with Searing Blaze. One of the two. So, I'm going to have Sorcery Creature land in the yard. Searing Blaze is not going to be able to kill my Tarmogoyf. So I think I'm just going to try to strand those in hand, at least for a really long time. That said, Searing Blaze is a very powerful card in general against us. But they're fetching now. Okay, what did they draw? Okay. I would think, if anything, they want to hold that fetch for a Searing Blaze activation, but I don't know what's in their hand, to be fair. Okay, Quagmire's pretty sweet, actually. It's going to let us just have a really efficient turn. While making our 3rd land drop, being able to cast Last Hope on curve. who might not be amazing in the matchup, actually, if it's... Yeah, it really depends on what else is in their deck. I don't exactly know. And they're not really seeming to value these landfall triggers for Searing Blaze so highly. But maybe they figure that if we left them in hand, we don't care about them, which is kind of true. Alright, I think we are just supposed to fetch painlessly here and play her out. They're not going to be able to cleanly kill her next turn. It's going to be some kind of a 2-for-1. And she is going to be a realistic win condition, potentially, given how this matchup's going out. We also don't want to really walk our Goyf into land into double Searing Blaze. The longer the game goes on, the less likely they'll be able to manage to put that together, whether it be because they play out their lands or because we find discard to finally take the Searing Blazes out of their hand, or they just have a Boros Charm and they will 1-for-1-er. You got it. That said, against a deck like this, not getting Boros Charmed in the face is pretty okay with me as well. And now they're probably just going to hold up that Wooded Foothills, huh? Okay, well, I'm pretty happy to run out the tracker here. This means they're going to get to cleanly Searing Blaze us, but then our Goyf should really stick after this, and we of course get value, just like they get value out of the Blaze, by using basically the card to kill our card, then 3 goes upstairs. We'll get the clue, the corresponding value of the clue. There it is. Alright, Ivan Ooze, what else do you have? He's still making more land drops, so he's still able to hold up this Searing Blaze. So it's kind of bad for him that he's flooding, but with this other Blaze in hand, that's still kind of good as well. So pretty clearly just playing the Goyf and passing here. These Confidants are not very useful, and they're also a clean Searing Blaze target. Would much rather hold up a Clue and or Assassin's Trophy. This Goyf is a nice 3-turn clock, though. Unfortunately, we're not really safe to fire up our manlands in this matchup as long as they have that other Blaze in hand. What if they just have double Searing Blaze here? That would be the worst. Even if it's Blaze into like a Lightning Bolt or something, that's not that bad for me. Okay, looks like it might be. Just don't be another one. That would be insane. Helix. Helix is pretty darn good there. Alright. Well, do I now want to play a Dark Confidant? I honestly don't know. I think I do. Because they did this at the beginning of the combat, we get a chance to. I think I do. We just obviously have to hope he's not too painful, but... maybe this is wrong. But, you know, if they rip like a Goblin Guide, at least this can trade with it. Let's just see what you do for us, Bobby. Oh, God. 3-drop right off the bat. Not even a good one right now, either. Well, that's pretty rough. Pretty rough, pretty rough. Okay, I'm cracking a clue, because my hand is awful. Oh, goodness. Well, proved to be a pretty poor decision, perhaps, to play this Confidant, but... Oh no, no, I misclicked. I clicked through. Whatever. Okay. Tarka's Command, which is the other reason besides Wild Nacatl to be playing green. Also Destructive Revelry in the side. So we get to blow him out pretty well there with a removal spell. Still definitely in trouble, though. Alright, Bob. Only lands from here on out. Only lands. Good boy, Bobby. Good boy. Our hand continues to be miserable, though. So... I think we have to play the Field of Ruin here so we can hold up Trophy. Because I am bad and misclicked. The last turn went through my turn a little too quickly. Alright, we've got the 3-turn clock. Remember when we said that a while ago with our Tarmogoyf? Yeah, now we've got a 3-turn clock again, but we're at 4 life with Confidant triggers hitting us every turn, so it's a little bit different. Plus we have to invest mana to get the clock. Alright, Goblin Guide. Okay. This is interesting, so... Is there an argument for... Nah, we just let him... We just let him trigger, right? I'm glad I held up Trophy, that's for sure. Revealing Fatal Push, so we're going to take one off the Bob. Lily of the Veil, not it. This is not it. So if we... we have to hold up push. Yeah, I guess we just... Same stuff. We're dead to a lot of things. We are dead to many, many things. But if they have another creature... Ha! Wow. We got there. We got there. Sweet. Well, that was an interesting game, that is for sure. And hey, the Dark Confidant... I guess it worked out. I guess it worked out pretty well, so... Thoughtseize out... Dark Confidant out, despite your fine display there. At least one Lily, the Last Hope. Maybe a Tracker, maybe another Last Hope. But these 7 are gone for sure. We want all the life gains, so Finks, Brutality is good. I like Languish here, actually, because they're showing me Wild Nacatl. Then this stuff is all fine. I guess Fulminator is more desirable against the Nacatl deck than against normal burn, so we'll go ahead and say yes to that. I guess same with these removal spells, right? So, what am I missing? Anything? Huh. Yeah, I think this looks pretty solid to me. Sure. Sure, let's go back for round 2 with Ivan Ooze this way. We've got some alright cards in the hand, but the risk is huge. Absolutely huge keeping this on the draw. Especially with a 3 and a 4 drop. Yeah, we've got to mull it. Triple Collective Brutality. I think I should keep this, guys. What do you think? What do you think? We need more lands, so no to Languish. Yeah. Triple Collective Brutality. Goblin Guide, just find me some lands, buddy. There we go. Attaboy. Well, this is shaping up all right, isn't it? Yeah, we're prepared to maybe push this guide, even though we have a clean answer to it in Brutality. We'll see what else they do. And we'll see what it shows us with its trigger as well. Yep. Another Blooming Marsh, huh? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just save the 2 life here. We can't realistically escalate all 3 brutalities all 3 times anyway, right? So, even though I quote-unquote miss out on, on a mode there, I think I'm really happy to just go, alright, escalate once here, get perfect hand information, and then take it from there. So, drain you, duress you, yes, you, black, pitch a trophy. We want the 4 lands because we now have a tracker, so I think trophy's the pitch there. We're not getting Skullcracked or anything because they only have 1 land open. They're shocking. I wonder if they're just going to bolt us in response. Is that what's going down? You got it. Atarka's Command in 2 lands. Well, seems fine to me. Seems just fine to me. Bit of a misclick. I should have played my forest first, so I could bluff Fatal Push, but that is alright. Alrighty, we draw Fulminator. Not the most exciting at the moment, but time to be nice and proactive. Taking the fight to them with the Tarmogoyf. Nice. Yeah, and at this point, the brutalities, even if they're just drains for 2, that's going to be really good with the way this match is shaping up. Another land is not good for our friend Ivan Ooze. Definitely not what he wants to see. Neither is that, really. Yep, they'll just scoop. Too far behind. Too far behind. Alright, nice 2-0 against Naya Burn. Mulling to triple Collective Brutality didn't hurt, but honestly, he didn't even know about my other two, and my first one wasn't even a triple escalate. It was just, or a triple mode. It was just escalated once. So, hey, that's good enough for me. I'll certainly take that. We're on a bit of a roll here, so let's just try one more game. I probably don't have time for more than that, and maybe it'll be, a weird, janky one that you sometimes run into here. Maybe it will be another solid matchup like those. We're both tiered decks. We saw Grixis Death Shadow. We saw Naya Burn. The opponents played them both pretty well. So yeah, the tourney practice lobby. It's not all bad. It's not all good, but it's not all bad. We're against the almighty Todd. All right. Well, I'm intimidated. I don't know how we can beat the almighty Todd, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're on the draw. Our hand's a little clunky, with only 2 lands, them being Field and Fetch is a tad clunky, but we don't know what we're in for, so we're going to keep it. We've got a little bit of everything, that is for sure. The one thing that we lack is a clock. Dark Confidant is the best clock we really have going right now, but that could prove to be enough. We'll have to see. If you attacked with 3 or more creatures this turn. Alright, is this, I don't know what this necessarily is. It could be Martyr Proc, some kind of Martyr Proc Soul Sister style build. Maybe not Martyr Proc, because they are more interested in kind of repeatedly wrathing the board, Planeswalker, stuff like this. I don't know how realistic fulfilling this if clause is for them, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it looks like just regular old Soul Sisters, so sure, you got it. Yep, we're going to fetch aggressively here. We are just going to push this thing. It's part of their engine. It's, it's not as high of a push priority target as something like Serra Ascendant often is, but next turn we pretty clearly want to play the Dark Confidant, so definitely don't want to let their life gain to get too out of control. Nice old school printing here. I like that. Yeah, still the Bob. Still the Bob, still gotta hit. Desperately need to hit a Blooming Marsh or another untapped black land next turn. Because Liliana the Last Hope is going to absolutely clean them up. But we need to be able to cast her, so it's certainly Confidant there. He's either going to bury them in cards or they're going to path him. They don't have another option. Unless they're splashing red for Norrin, but with Windbrisk Heights that seems unlikely, and they're just playing Honor of the Pure. They're stuck on 2 lands. Good news for us all around. Alright. Getting Field of Ruin is not the best there. Not the best at all. So what do we do? I rate Liliana the Last Hope so highly here. So highly, but playing a Tarmogoyf is also very good. Those are the 2 real options. Obviously, when I mention Last Hope, it's because I'm going to have to just pass this turn and then field a Windbrisk Heights if I'm going to make sure I get double black next turn. Yep, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Last Hope is just a card that they can't really beat unless they're already pretty far ahead on the board. Sure, this is another Soul Sister that kind of works both ways. Doesn't seem like the type of matchup where they'll be able to get value out of these Windbrisk Heights, but at least we'll start chipping away at that end of things if it does turn that way. Okay. No lands, that's very, very bad, and of course Honor of the Pure is making it so that we cannot quite cleanly kill the Suture Priest with the tick up, so it's just going to be an Edict. This is going to be good too. This is honestly going to be good too, because they're stuck on lands, they're playing things out one at a time. Next turn we can start taking up our Lily, we can start escalating aggressively with Brutality to get some of these extra cards out of our hand. It hasn't been the cleanest progression from us, that's for sure, but I am so glad I fielded last turn, now that I just failed to hit a land altogether. Now we're operational, right? Now whatever they do, we can probably answer it. We have not been... Yeah, okay. They're just stuck, and they're just not playing it out any longer. We're just burying them in card advantage. So, all right, we're against Soul Sisters. We just want the things that kill weenies. So EE, Pulse is good. Deathmark is going to kill their entire deck. Brutality is probably worth bringing in. Languishes for sure. I guess Brutality is probably the least desirable of these. So let's say 4 for sure. We may just want to trim away on discard, but let's take a look. Lily of the Veil. I think we can trim 1. She's not bad, but she's not great either. Her +1 can really get overburdened by Squadron Hawk, as can her -1 for that matter. Otherwise, I honestly like most things in the deck. Yeah, so let's just trim away at some discard. We'll go ahead and leave Brutality in here, and leave a couple Thoughtseizes in as well. I don't really know what their top end looks like. Probably Ranger of Eos. Maybe like a Gideon ally of Zendikar. Stuff like that seems pretty good in their deck, so I think I'd rather leave in Thoughtseizes than Inquisitions. And I'd rather just get heavier on removal than discard in general. Sure, this hand's pretty fine. Looks like we're going to go turn 1 Fatal Push into turn 3 Liliana, or Pulse into turn 4 Tracker. They do have a red splash. What? I am so confused. I did not think that was a... Ooh, Engineered Explosives. Engineered Explosives is so good here. Yeah, it's good enough that I'm just going to do this and let them play out into it as much as I realistically can. If they play a 2-drop next turn, for example, a Johnny's Pridemate, I'm just gonna push it. If they play a couple of 1-drops, well, they're in for a world of pain when turn 3 comes around. Alright, Honor of the Pure. Does that change my plans at all? Do I have any interest in EE on 2 for that? I don't really think so. I think I'm happy to just play it a little slow here. I'm going to take the hit here, and if they just don't do anything, then I'm just going to play the Liliana and Edict. Haven Mind Sensor. In the main phase, okay. You got it. Alright, change of plans. Now we'll push. And then we're just going to Lily Edict. Whew, another Pulse. Such a good draw. Such a good draw. A bit of bad sequencing there for me. I should have played Field of Ruin. So next turn I could go Tracker into Swamp, into Engineered Explosives if I want to, or just if I draw Fatal Push, hold that up or bluff it. If I draw Thoughtseize, all of the above. So that was poor sequencing for me. Should have played the field. Should have played the field. Spectral Procession is very good against Liliana of the Veil, but not so good against Maelstrom Pulse. Or it's not even that bad, it's just trading a 3-drop sorcery for another one, but I guess I should more accurately say that Maelstrom Pulse is just a good out against the Spectral Procession. So Tarmogoyf is a pretty solid draw. I think I might be pitching this EE now after how good I thought it was going to be. I think I'm just going to pitch it here. The rest of my stuff's just kind of better. Of course, it would have been great against a lot of their progressions as well, right? Ooh, wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. I can EE on 0 right now. Yeah, so I'm going to pitch a Pulse instead. Which also feels bad. Like, my hand is just stacked. Maybe I'm rating Tracker into land too highly. Or maybe I'm of course, just Tracker because I'm going to play the land and have a double spell turn now. But Yep, this is just slightly more mana efficient than the Pulse. And more style points too, right? There's no point in not cracking this here. They're just going to move 2 attacks on their turn and make me crack it. Here comes the Goyf. Alright, feeling pretty good with the Lilion too. They pitched an Archangel of Thune. Yep, that's an example of a top-end card, why we were leaving in Thoughtseize. Alright, opponent just scoops it up, so that was a little bit of an anticlimactic final match. They didn't put up that much of a fight, but, you know, then again, we had really solid draws. Like, look at our stuff. Alright, remember we're against Soul Sisters. We had Fatal Push, Double Pulse, Engineered Explosives, Tireless Tracker coming down later, Lily, Goyf, and just basically the right amount of lands to operate optimally without being flooded. So, yeah, can't really complain about that one, and can't really complain about the opponent scooping it up. It looks like they didn't really quite go off, and we were just a little bit too ruthless for them. But, yeah, we took down Grixis Death Shadow, we took down Naya Burn, and we took down Soul Sisters, and, yeah, so nice little run out in the Tourney practice lobby. I'm going to call it here because I don't have much more time. I really hope they get the replay stuff ironed out so I can give you some league footage here. I started off today by playing some league games, and I just can't throw away tickets. You know, I need my optimal levels of concentration and creativity to play leagues apparently right now, because I made mistakes that I don't usually make, and I just have to be empirical and follow the evidence. So right now the evidence says that I should not play leagues while recording live, but the evidence says that I should play leagues just to get better at the game, and then later upload them as replays with commentary, as we're all used to and as you guys like. So hopefully the replays are functional soon, ideally when I come back from my weekend away. That would be great. I would love to go back to doing the replay thing as soon as possible, but for now, here's a little more content to tide you over. A few more decent games, I must say, from the tournament practice lobby. None of those were jank decks or really early scoops or very new players or anything like that. And it's, Soul Sisters is at least a known quantity, even if it's not a tiered deck. But hey, we saw Burn and Shadow too. So anyway, good games, well played. And as always, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you kind of rolling with the punches with me. If the replay thing is kind of closing off our ability to record in the traditional way, we're just going to do other stuff. So thanks for sticking with me through all of it, and I hope these matches were fun and enjoyable and a nice change of pace as well. Something, just a different kind of vibe to the live stuff rather than the replay stuff. It's a little less streamlined, it's a little less time efficient, but we didn't have anyone taking too long here anyway today. So as always, thanks for the support. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. And thanks to everyone else. Viewing is great. Subscribing, even better. Liking, sharing, commenting, all of the above. I appreciate it. So thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you sometime next week, hopefully with some league footage in the form of replays. But until then, have a great one, and I will talk to you soon.